Welcome to the Business Spotlight Podcast. I am Kay Cote, your host today on the show. And today we have Chad Markham, CEO and President of Allegiant Digital Marketing. Today we're going to be talking about his business, his journey to business ownership, best practices, and some challenges that he's faced along the way to give you that inside scoop to what it's like to own and operate a business. If this is your first time on our channel, be sure to like and subscribe to get notifications when we drop episodes like this. Welcome, Chad. It's so nice to meet you. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you guys for having me. I'm really excited and looking forward to today's session.
Wonderful. Well, yeah, let's dive in. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I am a business owner of Allegiant Digital Marketing and have been in the digital marketing industry for quite some time, 25 plus years to be precise. And so I own and operate a full service digital marketing agency. And also I teach digital marketing on the side at the University of Texas here at Austin. And yeah, that's a little bit about me and my background.
Wonderful. Well, great to get to know you. And tell me a little bit about Allegiant Digital Marketing.
So we are, as I mentioned, a full service digital marketing agency. So we work with small business owners, franchise brands, enterprise organizations, and everything in between to help assist with digital strategy, execution of that strategy, and implementation through programs like search engine optimization, search engine marketing, website design and development, social media advertising and marketing, and a whole myriad of other digital services that are designed to help businesses build awareness, drive leads, and generate revenue.
Mhm. Just taking a few notes here. That's really cool. I'm excited to dive in. As you can see, as a podcaster, I love marketing myself. And so it is so much fun to share stories and, share businesses. And so what's your why? What's the why behind the digital marketing world?
So it's actually interesting that you asked that because I would say my entire life I've always had a propensity to feel like I wanted to serve a purpose of being able to help others, help other people, succeed and achieve, the things that they set out to do. Whether it's, small goals, big dreams, that's always been a big motivator for me. And one of the other things that I've noticed along my journeys in life is that technology seems to be a stumbling point, for many. And so having a desire or a love for technology, also dating back to when I was a little kid, going around and completely dismantling our devices in our house, such as our the radio and TV and electronics, which I'm sure you can imagine would drive my mom wild. And being able to put those things back together and continue to see those things function and operate kind of started me off in the earlier years in that pathway. But then, as time progressed and I continue to see this, through my journeys working in retail as an electronic sales associate for Office Max, and just having people come in and just look for help or insight or direction on how to use our electronics and technology transferred to the business world as well. And because I love helping people and because I love technology, it made a very beautiful marriage here, because I get to do that times two. And so that's really what drove me to this industry. And I love marketing. I love being able to understand the things that drive us to engage with certain brands. What is it about the allure of a company that drives us to want to do business with someone, and really staging and helping businesses motivate their audience and getting them to engage with their brand and their products or services has always been a fascinating thing for me. And I just love being able to help people get their value across, get their services or products across to their audience, and see them grow while serving the needs of their customers.
Oh, definitely. Well, I love that story, and it just shows that, that passion and pursuit behind your business. And I'm really curious about your team because I'm sure with a, thriving business, you've built out a team. So I'd love to hear about your team. How many team members do you have right now, and are you looking
Sure.
to grow?
Yeah, absolutely. So we currently stand 20 strong. We just actually brought on our 20th employee this last week. So we are growing by leaps and bounds. I've been in this industry for over 25 years, but Allegiant was founded or started back in April of 22. So we're still relatively young as a company, but with all of the experience that we've been able to usher from past experiences, it has helped us to really be able to accelerate our trajectory and growth. And one of the areas that I really, wanted to make sure that we excelled in was having the right people in the right places and being able to bring in very awesome talent, which part of is a product of the instructor role that I have at UT, and being able to recruit some really awesome people, former students, and being able to be a part of their continuing journey, post the boot camp programs that we teach. And then also having the opportunity to bring in very seasoned talent as well, and being able to bring all of that experience and top minds or bright minds of the industry to really make things special, for what we're able to create and produce for our partners. Something that's amazing. It's just amazing to watch and see, and it's something that I enjoy being a part of every day. When I wake up and I get an opportunity to come in and build excellence. Yeah, that's our team.
Wow, it sounds like a very robust team. I'm very excited for you with that. And now I kind of want to switch gears and talk
Sure.
about like your ideal client or partner. Like if I were to walk in your doors or check you out online, how would I know I'd be a great fit for you?
Yeah, so great question. Another thing that the experience has afforded me and our agency is, we work with a variety of companies, from startups to, established companies, whether small business owner or small to medium-sized businesses or SMBs and franchise systems. And then also sometimes enterprise organizations. I've had the ability to work with some Fortune 500s over my career as well. And so, but for me, the area that I really love to make an impact in is in the SMB space for small and medium-sized businesses, because that's where you get to see in many instances, either the beginning or the early parts of their journey, and then being able to foster and be an instrumental piece to their growth. And so, like, one of the things that I really pride ourselves in is the 5-star Google reviews that we have, and being able to see people who's been with us even before Allegiant began. I had a lot of folks from my past life who have followed us through our journey and our evolution and into ownership or business ownership. And we have folks that have been with me for 10, 15 plus years. And that to me is a very special and big compliment to how effective we are, and not only just producing results, but being able to build true partnerships, the things that last and transcend, beyond, just helping somebody earn a dollar, and really being able to be someone that people can lean on, for advice and for help and guidance, through, the greats, the highs, the lows, that we experience in business, and having the expertise to be able to give that guidance, and help steer people in the right direction is something I would say is something especially near and dear to my heart. And so, but yeah, small to medium sized businesses, folks that are either in the construction or home services space, medical, dental, financial services, legal, B2B, and a whole variety of other industries. 25 years has given us the opportunity to work across such a wide spectrum of businesses across all of the major industries and all of the sub industries that live or exist, below those groups. And so, yeah, that's generally our target, our ICP, our ideal, customer profile.
I love what you said too about helping, small and medium-sized businesses grow and seeing them and being a part of that journey. That's really cool.
Yeah, thank you. It is. It really truly is. And we relish in those opportunities because I can't tell you how often we get folks that come to us and they're like, how do I compete, with these other companies, these large brands, these people that have been around for decades? And, and this is a challenge that, we've seen and we've helped people or usher people through, time and time again. And, with being very strategic and methodical in the way that we do things, allows people to, stay within a healthy kind of operational course, without overextending themselves financially or, taking on more than what they can handle. And, just being able to create a balance is something, that's very important. And, actually, it's funny, when we talk about balance, I was talking to one of my team members yesterday and, and he even said, one of the things that I've noticed about, working here at Allegiant, is that we are a very balanced agency. So there's not one area of what we do that we are incredibly proficient in. And then there's other areas where we lack. We've done a really good job of creating balance across all of our departments, all of our service offerings. And because of that, we're able to provide more than adequate support in these different areas of a person's digital marketing strategy, so that way, they can really excel, without there, being deficiencies in their strategies and, things that could potentially hold them back. But, being able to, give that type of guidance, from, the startup life or part of the life cycle, through and to the, time when, these businesses have, created so much value in their companies that, it's time to, sail off into the sunset and retire, has been a really remarkable thing for us to be a part of a lot of those starting points and parts of the journey. And so it's given us a lot of wisdom along the way to be able to share, with people that are going through those same things wherever they are in their life cycle.
Oh, you mentioned one of my favorite words is wisdom. And so I'd like to share what is a time you went through within your business, a challenge or something that you grew from, that you came out of stronger, or that, yeah, your experience that helped shaped you.
Yeah, so we actually very early on went through a situation where we had begun when we launched Allegiant, we started offering white label digital marketing services. And essentially that just means, we were providing the services to another company who was then reselling those services. And so and being that we were very early on into our journey, I'd had previous experience working with other agencies and doing white label services in my former life when I worked for another agency for about 16 years with that former agency, which I had also helped. I was a part of their beginning point and watched them all the way through until the end when that company was sold, and so it gave me invaluable experience. But having already have worked with other agencies and providing those white label services, I was like, okay, this is a good, niche for us to carve out and something that, could really help us kind of multiply, our abilities to offer services, to a much larger audience or and whatnot. Unfortunately, one of the agencies that we had aligned with, who had found us through one of our earlier marketing efforts, it was a great partnership in the beginning. They were bringing lots of business to us, and I actually ended up being in a situation where we started hiring specifically for that agency to be able to support them and whatnot. Unfortunately, some things had taken a left turn. There was a few instances where they had tried to take some of these services in-house, and then the things would fall apart, and then they would bring us the pieces to put back together again. And it was very stressful time for us because it created uncertainty. There was uncertainty, and there was even a fear at one point where, when we were nearing the end of that relationship, I was afraid that we were going to have to, potentially let go of some of our team members. But then, we kind of came to an end in that relationship, and I had made the decision to go ahead and move on. And kind of where all of this is coming full circle to is the fact that we just dug in, and we worked our tails off, and because of that, it reminded me, that having gone through adversity just only creates more wisdom, more learnings, things for you to use to help you avoid future scenarios that could potentially put you in those types of situations. And it also reaffirmed our resolve, to be able to navigate difficult moments and times. And what I really applaud, is not only the self growth that came out of it, but watching my team, how they called, or answered the call, and rallied behind that change. And not only did we get through that transitional period, we actually ended up coming out on the other end of it that much more better, because we found and realized how much of a resource drag it had become, and it was really stagnating our abilities to actually grow the agency. So it ended up, working out for us. But in the beginning, I'm like going, oh no, this is not good. And so, but sometimes the lesson isn't necessarily right there on the surface for you to see. It's only when you're in the thick of it, and then when you come out on the end of it, when the real true learning, takes place. And for that, those are invaluable experiences, for me, and ones that I dearly appreciate.
Well, thank you for sharing that story. And it is a golden nugget, like a golden wisdom nugget that you just shared, that many business owners, myself included, have had that moment. And in that moment, you're just like, you're like, no, this is not the time. Like, and then afterward, you're like, oh, I see what I learned. And so thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Well, I'd like to dive into a fun part of the conversation where I ask you four questions. It's called our rapid fire question, and you answer very top of mind, first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
All right. Question number one is, what is the key to success for you?
I would say consistency. I mean, consistency always beats intensity, and being able to show up, finish what you start, do what you say you're going to do, and just being reliable, and being able to finish the things that you start, and do that every day for the people that you help and support. I think is a undervalued trait in business, in my opinion. And so much can be achieved and are accomplished with just simply being consistent in your business.
That's great advice and great takeaways. And what is a piece of advice you would give to other business owners?
I would say mind your mental. And what I mean by that is, we just have a tendency as business owners to get very ingrained into our businesses. We get that tunnel vision. We lose track of time, and before you know it, you're spending, a great deal of your moments, in your business, and you forget to, take care of yourself. And if you're not, taking care of yourself, not just physically, but just also mentally, because, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, there's that inherent isolation when it comes to decision making, that pressure to succeed. And just also finding, the difficulty in finding people, to align with, who can also understand, the things that you're going through, the challenges that you're facing, creates this kind of sense of loneliness in some cases. And that can be a scary place, and it can also lead to you kind of just tricking yourself into things that are not really there. So being able to get out, step away sometimes, give yourself a break from the just the grind, daily, and going out and actually enjoying this thing that we have to enjoy, which is life. can sometimes help restore some of that mental balance that you need in order for you to really be, the best version of yourself and truly effective in your business. So, I would say mind your mental.
That's a great one. I'm going to put that as a mental mantra in my mind.
Absolutely.
Try saying that 3 times fast. Oh my gosh. Oh, next question is, what is could be a book, a piece of content, podcast, something that you've taken in most recently?
So I actually recently reread a book by a gentleman, or Dr. Robert, I think it's C.I. Denny, and I may be butchering his last name, forgive me, but he wrote a book called Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion, which really delves into the mind of, our decision making when it comes to, the advertising and marketing that we see and consume around ourselves. And, I found that to be a very important part of just foundational advertising and marketing knowledge. So that you can understand, from just from the human side of it at a very basic level, what are the things that really drive our decisions and the directions that we go into, when we align to or engage with a certain brand. And so it's actually a book that I have a tendency to buy for all of our team members, and one that I certainly encourage them to read and be familiar with, because it does show up a lot in our daily lives and the things that we do, and especially as a marketing agency, something that helps them to make decisions around things that are going to fuel and motivate our partners and their clients decisions. So definitely a really good read, and one that I really enjoy. And actually I have it on audiobook too, so when I'm out doing my little morning runs, it's something that I'll pop in and I'll listen to it and just pick up nuggets and reminders or pretty much almost daily. So that way, I can continue to be the best at what I do in my space.
Oh, that's a great book. I did write that one down because that sounds really interesting. So the final question is, if you could wave a magic wand and rapidly overnight improve one aspect of your business, what would it be?
I would say AI, and not necessarily the AI from the application standpoint for what we do for our partners, because it's something that we do offer and something that we're fairly proficient at, but something more so in the degree of AI and automation when it comes to the internal, business redundancies and things that we do every day over and over and over again. And so one of the mantras that I preach to my team, we have weekly meetings where we kind of go over the state of union of what's going on at Allegiant and things like that. I always close with, try to learn at least one new thing, in this industry, in your position, and what you do. Because if you are constantly mining and looking for opportunities to get better, not only will that help you from a professional standpoint, but it'll also help you, from a personal standpoint as well. And so with that, even though I can't wave a magic wand and change that overnight, I have been able to re-enroll and currently in a postgraduate program at UT for AI and automation. And that's something that we will absolutely be conquering here in the next 7 months, over the course of that class. So.
Oh, I love that mantra. I also wrote wrote that down. So, this has been such a great conversation. Thank you again for your time,
Absolutely.
and I would love to connect people with you. How can they get in touch with you and your business?
Actually, it's pretty easy. If you'd like to, you're welcome to visit us at allegiantdigital.com. Or if you would like to talk to someone, one of the awesome parts about Allegiant is when you reach out to us, guess who you get to talk to? Me.
Oh,
And so if you do reach out to us, I will personally be the one to help provide guidance and direction. And you can reach us. The phone number is 512-520-4001. And once again, that number is 512-520-4001. And I'll be there to help however I can.
Oh, great. Well, thank you, Chad, for our final question for today. What is most inspiring to you today?
That's a good question. I would say to me, it's watching people be able to, achieve their goals and their dreams. My former boss, from the agency that I had worked at prior to starting Allegiant, he was a big Zig Ziglar fan, and he would always say, if you help enough people in life, get what they want, you'll get what you want out of life. And forgive me, I'm paraphrasing. That's not the quote unquote. But it is something that lives at the front of my mind in everything that we do. And yeah, I mean, just being able to be a part of people's journeys and help them, navigate their challenges and help them overcome and watch them achieve. To me, is just something that I find great purpose in, and something that I love to watch, unfold and evolve, and does give us, or gives me a lot of motivation in life.
Well, thank you so much, Chad. That was inspiring, and thank you again for this conversation.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.